Hiya, guys, welcome. We sit here on the 30th anniversary of one of the most revered albums of the 1990s, Radiohead, the BENDS, March the 13th, 1995. It is now March the 13th, 2025. And this album is fondly remembered by most Radiohead fans as being the pivotal moment where Radiohead shift from being a college rock minor band with Pablo Honey and the EPs to a major force in British rock music. And the band, it all started here really with the innovation, the great songwriting of Tom York, the crazy frenzy guitar of Johnny Greenwood, the great arpeggiating and ethereal textures of Ed O'Brien, Johnny's brother Colin Greenwood providing some real catchy bass lines, quite intricate bass lines, and Phil Selway on drums, solid drummer. So they formed in 1985. This is a whole 10 years after they initially formed. So yeah, Radiohead took a long time to get going. Not many people know this, but they started in Abingdon, Oxford in 1985, and they started as On a Friday was the initial name of the band because they practiced on a Friday. How inventive. Um, but basically the members sort of like they all dispersed, went to different universities. You know, they were quite intelligent people, and they I think Ed studied like sports or something like that. He was like the sporty one, and then Johnny did like psychology. Tom went to Exeter University quite famously. Um, yeah, and then so that sort of held up the band, and then they had to get signed and stuff. They're playing at the Jericho Tavern in Oxford, and EMI Parlophone came knocking eventually. So yeah, I'm just going to go through this, track by track, starting with track one, Planet Telex, all the way down to track 11, Street Spirit, Fade Out. So I've got the all of the tracks here are lined up at the bottom, with the singles actually having the single cover. They're not actually in order, actually. No, it should be. I'm just going to put them in order a second. So, Planet Telex should be first, and then you got the Bends, um, high and Dry third, and then Fake Plastic Trees, and then Bones. Where to put that? It's there. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? And then hold on, Fake Plastic Trees. What am I doing? Nice Dream is following that. And then we got where's Bulletproof gone? Oh, where's Bulletproof? Hold on a minute, what's happening here? So 8, 9, 10, 11. Where have I put Bulletproof? I wish I was. Well, I might have screwed up here, guys. How can I add more? I'm trying to choose files. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna have to add one more track here. Um, what's it doing? What's it doing? This computer's so slow. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna have to make it up here. Hold on a sec, guys. Hold on. Fuck's sake. Right, hold on a minute. Hold on, I'll be 2 secs, guys. So yeah, I mean, tell us what you think about the album in the comments below. Um, I mean, I don't think it's as as great as now that I've found like shoegaze and stuff. I don't think it's as sonically as impressive as I initially thought it was. It's not like My Bloody Valentine or Slow Dive kind of ethereal bliss like that. But that's what it wasn't intending to be anyway. They weren't trying to. They were trying to break away from that. If anything, so they learnt that it was never going to work. The whole shoegaze thing. Um, despite coming from the same Thames Valley area as most of the bands, they realised that it wasn't going to commercially work. So they it was a good move on their part there. Um, Hold on, nearly there, guys. But yeah, just they got a great Astoria show. Um, oh, okay, I got it now. Um, there's a great Astoria show from 1994 when they're already playing these tracks live, like like May 1994, like nearly a whole year before. So they weren't a band that messed around at all. They got on with it. Um, okay, Bulletproof is there now. Finally, right? Okay, not going to waste much more time now. So this is the right order, isn't it? 9. No, what are you doing? This is horrible to use. What's that? Black Star, Black 10, 11, 12. I think that's right, isn't it? It's Bulletproof is okay, right. So yeah, let's go with Planet Telex then. So let's start off ranking these tracks. Planet Telex, I'm gonna say S because this is the first track. It signals a big change from Pablo Honey. It's got this effects like tremolo effect on the organ. I think it is. I remember an interview with John Leckie online. He's speaking to Andrew Sheps, another big producer, and yeah, he's saying about the effects and stuff. They sort of like put EQ on the feedback, um, and like pans the feedback, and they tried all the experimental stuff with this. I think it was an organ, electric organ, um, definitely some kind of keys. And then yeah, the guitar is like I think you got like a Boss Space Echo on the self oscillating modes. That's kind of what ends the track with that whole kind of warble delay effect. But yeah, it just signals a big change. Like the rhythm guitar is really solid in this. Phil Selway's drums are just they come crashing in, absolutely huge sounding. Colin Greenwood's bass is just menacing. Yeah, it's a real kind of dark, spacey track. It's like space rock, like a mysterious version of space rock. It's like got this atmosphere where it's got like a mood where you're not quite it's uncertain kind of mood. Everything is broken. Tom's saying, I think Tom was drunk. He came into the studio drunk, and he sort of performed it on the floor. That's how the story goes. So he's kind of like mumbling away. His voice is like shot. Really, it's not really. He's got the yeah. His voice is all like slurry and stuff. So yeah, he just like walked into like I think Rack Studios, I think, and RAK Studios, and basically yeah. So he's sort of like recorded it, just like really like with not much effort put into it, and it kind of worked. That approach worked for the song. It's just his voice is sort of nestled in amongst the noise. So this is the most shoegazy that they probably get on this album. So there's a little nod here, especially with the tremolo guitar. That slicing tremolos, like very My Bloody Valentine reverence there with the sort of Only Shallow kind of tremolo going on. Yeah, great track, and it shows that they're not messing around now. They're not, they're moving on from the sort of the basic sort of Pixies, um, Dinosaur Jr. kind of college rock of the first album. They're moving into something more sophisticated and textural. Um, so the second track, the Bends, the title track, real rocker. This one, the guitars come crashing in with big D chord, and you got the C add 9 and B, and then it goes back to CAD 9. Do 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 do. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, really well written song. It's got this great bridge section. This kind of bit where it goes silent. You just got the drums going on, and everything else falls silent. And Tom's there like, "I wish it was the '60s. Wish we could be happy. I wish that something would happen." And it's got this sort of flange, like palm muted guitar. Like it's got even a bit of metal in there with the palm muted guitar and flange on it. I mean, that's the thing with Radiohead. They got that kind of heavier, grungy sound to them as well. That Johnny Greenwood, like John Leckie said, like Johnny Greenwood was trying all different types of equipment and trying to change his sound from Pablo Honey, but in the end, after trying lots of different variables, Johnny ended up just with his like Marshall Shredmaster and the Fender amp. He kept retained the same aggressive sound from Pablo Honey, and it really works. Really, sort of balancing aggression with beauty and sadness. Um, but yeah, I think the Bends is. I'm going to put an A for that. I think it's a well crafted song. Like I said about the different sections of it, and then you got that kind of euphoric bit at the end where it's like, like the guitar is sort of jumping with joy. Like, I always see that as like that part as being like the resolution, like the happy resolution at the end of a sad story. It's like the rest of the tracks all kind of menacing and like really anxious, about like, oh, the Marines are going to blow me away, and that line, that the planet is a gunboat in a sea of fear. I just think that's such a great lyric. And then you got that, yeah, like I said, you got that resolution at the end where it's sort of, I mean, it doesn't actually sort of go in change key or anything. It doesn't sort of go into a key change, but it's just the sort of, I guess it's the mode or something that Johnny Greenwood's using for the solo, and it changes the song to like euphoria all of a sudden. It's just really well crafted, and then at the end it goes back to that like just acoustic strumming bit. It's just really good. Where are you now when I need you? Yeah, brilliant. And then so next one, High and Dry, the big sort of radio single. Um, gonna give it a B, I think. Obviously it's quite a simple song. It's just like three chords really, um, 3 or 4 chords. It's just a radio hit really, and kind of Radiohead's Wonderwall in a way. It's got that kind of acoustic. It's just acoustic song and with a little bit of overdrive texture in the chorus. Um, Johnny Greenwood's doing the coin bow thing where he's like sort of like sliding a coin and that on the guitar, making a really great effect. Yeah, I mean, but that's as experimental as the track gets, really. Um, but you know, it is a real nice song, and it's just perfect for radio, perfect for the Britpop scene at the time. Yeah, I can definitely see it alongside like Wonderwall and Lucky Man by the Verve and like Cast Walk Away. It goes up there with those kind of acoustic ballads. It's just a great Britpop acoustic ballad, which there were quite a lot of. I think when Britpop went acoustic, it was even better actually. I think that was better than a lot of the electric tracks. Okay, next one, Fake Plastic Trees. Do I go S or A here? I'm gonna go S. I think Fake Plastic Trees is just emotionally powerful. To Jeff Buckley influence on it. Um, just really great. The A chord, and then it goes to this like B11, and then this like E7 and D sus2. It's quite easy to play. One of my favorites to play. But that's another myth as well. Like about this album isn't really more sophisticated than the Oasis album. Really, I mean the playing is mostly like open chords. Um, it's only really sort of OK Computer onwards really where they sort of it's more complicated chord progressions and more complicated chords in itself. But actually, like a lot of this album is just like it's like D A C G. It is quite simple, the rhythm playing. Um, but it allows Tom to concentrate on the singing more, I guess. Yeah, Fake Plastic Trees, obviously, yeah, like great. I love the strings that come in the background, or is it might be a synth? I think it might be a synthesizer actually, sort of doing sort of a ambient pad kind of thing, and then the track bursts open with distortion at the end. That kind of real powerful feeling moment at the end, and it dies down again. Yeah, it just plays with dynamics so well. Some really unusual lyrics in there, like typical '90s obscure lyrics. So next, Bones. Going to say a B for this one as well. I really like the tremolo effect. Johnny Greenwood made his own tremolo pedal, and it goes from at different rates in the song. It's like, I mean, I'm not sure if it's happening, but it's like he's using an expression pedal to vary the speed of the tremolo. I really like that in this song. It just makes this kind of just wacky atmosphere. But really, yeah, it's quite a simple kind of rock and roll kind of song. It's got this like do 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 do, like after the like sort of the post chorus section, it goes into this kind of like um just that kind of rock and roll shuffle thing. That do 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 do. You got to feel like aching bones. Do 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 do. Yeah, and then you got like Johnny's big bends, unison bends coming at the end, and yeah, I mean it's a great rocker, and it's that kind of quiet to loud dynamic again. So it's got a bit of the grunge element going on in it. It's kind of like grunge meets like 70s glam rock, something like that, like T-Rex meets um, the Pixies, something like that in a way. Next one, Nice Dream. S tier. I think this one is incredible. This one, this is the beauty coming out. Um, yeah, just great. The strumming pattern, the 3/4 time or 6/8, however you want to describe it, it's the same thing. Um, yeah, really like the whole. It's that waltzy 3/4. That dun, 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 pf, dun, 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 pf, dun, 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 pf, dun, dun. Yeah, I really like that, and obviously I've written songs with that whole 3/4 shuffle, and yeah, it's beautiful. Really, really is. Great atmosphere, effects in the background on this. Tom's voice is quite fragile, um, soft, and it just really works. And then you got that big change in the middle where it goes from really calm and serene to this like menacing tidal wave. It's like nice dream. Dun, 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 dun. Johnny Green was like doing this aggressive muting on the guitar, and with his shred master, it just sounds so menacing, and then it goes back to serene again, and yeah, it's a real like a roller coaster trip of life. Okay, so the next one, Just. Going to put this as A tier. I think, yeah, obviously this was a massive hit. Oh, why has it gone S for? This was a massive hit, and this is seeing how many chords they could fit into one song. Um, it was a bit of a challenge, basically. Like, how many chords could they fit into one song? I think the highlight is when they sort of get these jazz chords like halfway through. Goes into this jazzy section. I really like that. It's just, it just for like a big hit single, like to incorporate jazz in a hit song is it was a brave move, but it just works perfectly. The song was well constructed. You got like Johnny doing his big tremolo strumming, like octave runs up the neck. Yeah, it's just great, isn't it? And it starts off like Smells Like Teen Spirit with the sort of drums, and then you got the four chords coming in, um, the A shaped chords, um, referring to the cage system. It'd be like A shapes. Um, yeah, just great, and you do it to yourself, you do. Like kind of, it's got like a real English vocal to it. He's not Tom's not doing the American sort of impressions that he was doing on Pablo Honey. It's got like a real English accent to it, and sort of fits into the Britpop scene in that kind of way. But yeah, just bundle of different styles incorporated into it. All right, next one. So this is the eerie My Iron Lung. Going to say A tier. Yeah, I think this one, you got the Ebo from Ed O'Brien that sort of starts this eerie atmosphere. And this is the song that was they wrote to kind of erase Creep. So this was their kind of like saying like, this is our last song. No, this is our new song. Just like the last one. Total waste of time. Yeah, it's just really angsty and like, F you for just liking Creep, and that's it. Um My Iron Lung is kind of about like, like I guess it's kind of about them sort of losing oxygen and sort of, they're feeling really weary. They're being worn down by this like one single that's like suffocating them, suffocating the progression of the band. And it's like, it's been overplayed and stuff. Like it's like wet, the lungs are like wet and stuff, and it's just turned it to rust. That song's just kind of rust now. It's been overplayed. I guess that's what it's referring to. All right, next one, Bulletproof. Oh, I mean, it's got to be, yeah, S, I would say. I just think the atmosphere is so great, and it really gives a nod to the shoegaze movement. Kind of a bit like Catherine Wheel's Fripp, something like that. It's just really great stuff. The effects, that arpeggiating bit that Ed plays halfway through, the doodle-doo, 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 bulletproof. Tom's vocals are like the best on the whole album on this song, you could argue. And yeah, just I think it's Ed and that just doing some incredible work. Using the tremolo arm and stuff to like like vibrate the notes like a Bigsby kind of style shake of the tremolo arm and to do all these haunting tones. yeah, it's just so yeah, it's a haunting track and hauntingly beautiful. Deserves S tier. Black Star. I mean, for me, this is like probably the weakest song. Actually, I kind of it does that kind of. I mean, the thing that it's got going for it is the I guess it's got that sort of offbeat bit where it goes dun, 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 boom 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 dun, 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 boom boom boom. So it catches you out because you think it's gonna that dun, 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 dun. You think it's gonna go for like another half a bar or something, but then it goes dun. It does that walk down on the bass notes. The dun, dun, dun. I get home from work and you're still standing in your dressing gown. Well, what am I to do? And then dun, 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 dun. Like one of Colin's best bass lines, I would say. That's another highlight of it. But yeah, for me, it's quite a simple song. It definitely fits into the Britpop scene. Like it's got very sort of like British lyrics, like sort of about depression and sort of not going to work, still being in your dressing gown because you're taking Prozacs, you're not feeling up to the day's challenge. So it's like British working life, people being weary of being weary of the long hours that we work in this country. So yeah, I think it is. It's got that Britpop kind of guitar tone as well. It's quite jangly and it's quite it's got that light overdrive to it. It's not like the sort of super distorted grunge or shoegaze kind of thing. It's a real Britpop feel to this one. It's got like that sort of uplifting, dun, 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 like that. That helps as well. But yeah, only a C for me. I just feel like it's more basic, I think, than all the other ones. It hasn't even got like a bridge or refrain section. It's kind of just like verse and chorus. Sulk. So nothing's going in Deeds here. Um, I'm going to give this one a B because I think I really like the effects on this, the tremolo, and again, just like Nice Dream, this is another one in 3/4 or 6/8, different time signature. It's got that shuffle feel again. Do, 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 do. Yeah, and the effects do it for me, and you got Johnny's erratic solo at the end. Tom's voice sounds a bit different, like he's singing in a different register. But yeah, super cool. Um, yeah, for me, it's not one of the very best on this album, but yeah, like I think it's great the different time signature and like I said, I think Johnny's effects is the highlight of this song, and Tom's kind of like the way he sort of goes like medium high with his vocals in the chorus. It's quite impressive. Different kind of register, different approach in this vocal style. Okay, so nothing's going in D because this is a great, great album. So Street Spirit, Fade Out. I'm gonna say A. Just brilliant. The arpeggio. Dun, 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 dun. It's got that classical piano kind of feel to the arpeggio playing. Like, dun, 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 immerse your soul in love. Is Tom saying that ironically at the end, or is that a sign of hope? It's very, very ambiguous. But yeah, just this song is dark and the drums are the highlight for me. Actually, I really like Phil Selway's that. It's like a slow version of the Amen break. Just real solid. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, there's a lot of like overdubbing, isn't there, with the guitars? So that sort of arpeggio is like being played around with. People adding embellishments to it, like sus notes or seven notes. Um, yeah, I think it's like sus notes, isn't it? Suspended notes that are like added to it. So it's like this whole arpeggiated riff is layered up. And you got the synth that comes in the chorus to sort of lay the bed for Tom's vocals. Yeah, it's just an emotional song, and one of Tom's like greatest vibrato kind of vocals, where his voice is trembling, shaking in the chorus. Fade out again. On the word again, his voice is really being pushed to its limit. And yeah, it's a bit of like a ticking time bomb. Like that's what the arpeggio reminds me of. It's like maybe the song saying that we're sort of running out of time and we've got to find ourselves before time's up. Something like that. It just reminds me of like a ticking clock. It's got that kind of that rigid kind of tempo to it. Um, yeah, really hard song to play and sing live. So I think Tom York does a fantastic job here. But yeah, overall a great album, and I really hope you enjoyed my rankings there. Happy 30th anniversary to the Bends by Radiohead. See you later, guys.